But Russia's in the middle of a war, and at $70 billion a year, Russia has the world's third largest defense budget, and the state boasts 845,000 troops, along with 22,550 tanks and 1,399 combat aircraft. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the 10 most expensive weapons owned by the Russians. This helicopter was a product of the Cold War, designed as an anti-tank attack platform similar in scope and function to one of the American models. This is the go-to attack helicopter for the Russian Air Force and their army. Its basic armament is a 30mm Shipunov underslug autocannon. Its wing stubs can carry up to 4 anti-tank missiles, or rocket pods, or gun pods. The Havoc features a distinct elongated nose design, which houses the required electronics suite. The crew of 2 sit in tandem in a fully armored framed cockpit. Power is derived from 2 Klimov brand turboshaft engines generating 2,200 horsepower each. A total of 126 Havocs have been produced, with each one costing about $12 million. This jet is a Russian multi-role fighter designed by Mikoyan, a division of the United Aircraft Corporation. Marketed as a 4th-generation fighter, it's a further development of the previous MiG models. The fighter has been vastly improved in its avionics and weapon systems compared to the early variants of the MiG-29, notably in its new precision-guided targeting capability and its uniquely designed optical locator system, which relieves the aircraft from relying on ground-controlled interception systems and enables it to conduct independent multi-role missions. It is effective both in air-to-air combat and in precision ground strikes, and also incapable of reaching speeds of up to 2,400 kilometers per hour, despite actually being 30% larger than its predecessor. The MiG-35 is also able to dogfight and destroy sea and surface targets from long range, as well as to conduct air reconnaissance missions. The fighter plane is being marketed globally and is in the $30 million to $40 million price range each. The Novorossiysk belongs to the Project 636, characterized by advanced stealth technology, making it virtually undetectable when it's submerged. Konstantin Tabaksny, captain, said, "Our potential opponents call it the black hole due to the very low noise emission and visibility of the submarine. To be undetectable is the main quality for a submarine, and this whole project really fits its purpose." This project submarines are upgraded with missile and torpedo weaponry, and radio electronic and hydroacoustic equipment. The sub has a surface speed of 20 knots, maximum submersion of around 300 meters, and can go on an autonomous sailing mode for 45 days. It's also got a crew of 52 and underwater displacement of about 4,000 tons. The price range for this silent bad boy falls around $200 to $250 million each. Also bearing the NATO-class name Dergak, it is one of the few military surface effect ships solely built for marine combat purposes, rather than like troop landing or transport. Its designation in the Russian and Soviet navies is Project 1239, the first vessel produced under the designation of Sivuch, which was later named Tubora. It is one of the largest combat sea vehicles with a catamaran design. This ship is one of many marine craft built by the Russian Federation for domestic and export coastal defense. The weapons array Bora-class warships carry varies depending on which of the several configurations it's built for. Armed with 8 Mosquito missiles and 20 anti-aircraft missiles, the ship has a crew of up to 68 sailors and a cruising speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The military's forked out almost $713 million for this Bora-class submarine. The 3M-22 Sirkon. It's a scramjet-powered maneuvering anti-ship hypersonic cruise missile currently in production by Russia. It is likely a dual-capable system designed to strike high-value targets on land and at sea, such as air carrier groups. A booster stage with solid fuel engines accelerated to supersonic speeds, after which a scramjet motor with liquid fuel accelerates it to hypersonic speeds in its second stage. Available information suggests it is a hypersonic missile, but it's at the low hypersonic end of the speed range, with the highest announced speed being Mach 9. The Sirkon is reportedly capable of hitting targets at range of about 50 to 1,000 kilometers, although tests have so far been confined at distances of 450 kilometers against land and sea surface targets. This air-launched ballistic missile was only the sub-strategic system unveiled by Putin in 2018. It is a modified variant of the 9M723 Iskander, but is launched by the MiG-31K missile carrier. According to Putin, the Kinzhal eventually reaches a speed of Mach 10, or 7,000 kilometers per hour, and can maneuver throughout all phases of its flight trajectory. It's reported to possess a range of around 2,000 kilometers from the point of release and can carry a nuclear payload of 480 kilograms. On March 18th of 2022, the Russian military claimed to have used this hypersonic weapon to destroy an underground weapons depot in western Ukraine. Although Ukraine has confirmed the attack, they've not confirmed the type of weapon. If these claims are true, this incident is going to mark the first time a hypersonic weapon has ever been used in combat. The Thunderbird is a Russian missile with a nuclear propulsion system, which is currently being developed anyways. This missile is shrouded in secrecy, and only limited information on this weapon is really available. When Putin publicly revealed this program in 2018, he stated that the novelty and operational utility of the Burevestnik is its unlimited range, which would enable the missiles to evade any adversary's air defense systems. It's a stealthy, subsonic missile capable of carrying low-yield nuclear warheads. However, it can also be fitted with conventional warheads. So far, it's been speculated that the Thunderbird has a booster motor that lifts it into the air and propels the missile to flight speed. Then a miniature nuclear reactor kicks in. Some sources claim that the nuclear reactor powers an electric motor, which then drives a compressor and a turbine. In this way, the air is compressed and then pushes out the missile for propulsion. A nuclear reactor would allow this missile to reach any target on the globe and maneuver to avoid missile defense systems along its way. When you think of Poseidon, it probably comes to mind the Greek god of the ocean. Well, it's not necessarily what Russia thinks of when it comes to Poseidon, apparently. For them, it's an intercontinental nuclear-powered, nuclear-armed autonomous torpedo. Yeah, it's a giant torpedo that can hit coastal cities and devastate them. It's very, very slow, but possibly unstoppable compared to an intercontinental ballistic missile. The weapon's speed, which is around 70 knots, is fast enough to make it realistically uncatchable for existing torpedoes. Its operating depths, perhaps 3,300 feet, puts it far beyond reach. The Poseidon may be capable of performing several functions beyond assuring a nuclear second strike capability. It is a multi-purpose UUV that can carry out conventional or nuclear warheads and enable them to engage various targets, including aircraft groups, coastal fortifications, and infrastructure. It's also powered by a miniature nuclear reactor, giving it an unlimited range in practical terms. Alternative roles might include serving as a testbed for nuclear-powered UUV technologies, enabling the Russian Navy to develop systems that could easily outrun the fastest manned submarines and stay at sea for months or even years. If sufficient advances are made in the development of artificial intelligence or underwater communications, the Poseidon has the potential to inaugurate an ominous new era of autonomous undersea warfare. The Avangard is a nuclear-capable hypersonic boost glide vehicle recognized as one of 6 new-generation weapons described by Russian President Vladimir Putin during a speech in March 2018. It has a range of over 6,000 kilometers, it weighs approximately 2,000 kilograms, and can carry a nuclear payload. The missile system combines the old and the new. The old in the form of the Soviet-era RS-18A, and the new in the form of the Yu-71 hypersonic glide vehicle. The Avangard system emerged after the Soviet-era Albatross research project to develop an HGV, and it was resurrected following the U.S. withdrawal from the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty in 2002. After several unsuccessful tests during the 2010s, some successful tests took place over the course of 15 to 16. The most recent test took place in December of 2018 after President Putin's superweapons announcement in March of that year. In March 18, in that speech, Vladimir Putin claimed it could reach atmospheric speeds of up to Mach 20 or 6.28 kilometers per second. This ungodly maneuverability could make Avangard's trajectory unpredictable, complicating interception attempts after its boost phase. The first 2 Avangard systems were placed on active duty at the end of 2019. This missile, the number 1 on our list, is also referred to as the Satan II. It is a 3-stage liquid-fueled intercontinental ballistic missile with a range of 18,000 kilometers and a launch weight of around 220 tons. It can carry a nuclear warhead large enough to wipe out an area the size of Texas or France. According to Russian media, Sarmat can reportedly load up to 10 large warheads, 16 smaller ones, or hypersonic boost glide vehicles. The missile's been under development by the Makeyev Rocket Design Bureau since 2009 and is expected to replace a Soviet-era SS-18 Satan in 2 divisions of the Strategic Missile Forces of the Russian Federation. Successful launch tests were carried out in 2020, and by February 2021, preparations were underway for flight tests at the Severodvinsk test site. So if you enjoyed this video, watch this one next.